interesting where people decide to sit when there's like a new configuration. You know what I mean? So, Shabbat Shalom. I'm glad. Oh, wait, Leslie went to use the facilities, but that's okay. We can carry on. I think many of you know, but I want to make sure everyone knows, that we are set up for Slichot tomorrow night. It's kind of an interesting story in that so Slichot, which I'll explain tomorrow night, but you guys can get like a little spoiler alert, sneak preview. Slichot are a number of things. Number one is the Hebrew word for forgiveness, or even when you want to say you're sorry, you say slicha, which is the Slichot is the plural. It's also a term, a formal term, for the prayers that in traditional congregations that are offered the whole month of Elul. So there's added to the regular service, and I'm talking about a daily service, and we don't have a daily service, but in those congregations, added to the daily service and Shabbat are these special prayers that are designed for this month before Rosh Hashanah and the days of awe. And it's also the name for this service, not this one, but the one that's tomorrow night, where we've set up the chairs so differently, that happens generally on the Saturday night, and they're usually a late night service. Some congregations do them like at midnight, kind of like midnight mass, without the mass, right? And actually, the world, and this is like really going in the weeds a little bit, but the world, at least for now, has, at least our corner of the world, has gotten kind of earlier. I'm a late night person, as some of you know, but we've moved up. Our Slichot used to start at 10, you remember? And now it's 9, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that, but I like the later the better for me. So if you ever see it move to 10 in the next couple of years, you know who to blame, right?
Me too.
Oh, you're a late night person too?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Anyway, the point is that I said generally the Saturday night before Rosh Hashanah, but when Rosh Hashanah happens very early in the week, like Sunday, Monday, the decision was made, a long, long time ago, to have Slichot the Shabbat before, right? Because it's supposed to tell you that Rosh Hashanah is coming, like that it's time to really prepare. But and that's why the Saturday night before Rosh Hashanah. But there is this feeling like, oh, maybe that's a little too soon. You know what I mean? And I don't mean it like too soon, which is a great expression. Hi, y'all. Shabbat Shalom. So anyway, why did I even say that? Because the baby's here, and Miriam is distracting me with her cuteness.
Oh,
Look at Miriam.
look at that.
Like, come on. Let's just stop and be in total awe of Miriam. Okay, I'm back. Oh, I know why I brought it up, because that's why we're like this. Is this a good way to represent what we are? We're in the round. Do you know there was a time where CRC, anyone was here. I actually was here, but not part of CRC, but I was living in St. Louis. Leslie was here. We had a couple years of high holiday services at the Westport Theater, which was in the round, right? We didn't spin, which would have been, I don't think so. I think you're no. You're well, no, right, but she didn't get spun like a, yeah.
Yeah, it was the epitome of the term lazy Susan.
Yeah. Anyway, so now we do the round thing for a couple of holy days. I don't know if anyone was actually, when we have Tisha B'Av here at CRC, which we didn't this year, we're in the round, and Slichot. And it's just, again, another way to draw us closer. And we all are the beneficiaries of this early setup, because we get to kind of like test drive what it's going to feel like for those of you that return tomorrow night for Slichot. So I just wanted to make sure everyone kind of got that. We'll go back to people who are more linear. I know there's linear people and circular people. I won't have you raise your hands which one you are, but either way, just experience this. Just breathe through it, enjoy it. You get to see everybody a little better, right? Look around. And there's the teaching that where do we really find God? We find God in each other's faces. So this is a perfect way. Look, I see God. To really look at each other and recognize the divinity and the divine potential that is in each person. So let's begin. I always say that I talk so much in the beginning that we don't have to. We all start all the way at page 4. I talk through page 1, 2, and 3. You don't even need to know what was on those pages.
There is something on them?
No. Nothing important. Not as important as talking about the Westport Theater. That was very important. All right, getting used to it. Hiya, Elle. You all right? Okay.
She's going to find out what's going on with my microphone.
Oh, okay. Leslie, sing really loud until you...
Okay.
All right, my friends, take a deep breath all together. In Hebrew, that was a good one. In Hebrew, it's called a nishima amuka. It literally means deep breath. But neshama, the word for breath, is also the word for soul. So when you breathe deeply with intentionality, you're breathing right into your soul. And that's part of the purpose of Shabbat, is to renew our souls, to kind of get back to ourselves, our best selves. So, when you breathe like that, when you really intentionally breathe into your heart and soul, there is this sense of renewal and return, which after all is the goal of the high holidays, Teshuvah. Return to your best self. So we're going to do a little singing to enter into Shabbat. This service is called Kabbalat Shabbat, which literally means, to enter into the Sabbath, to receive the Sabbath. So there's an action to that. Shabbat's going to come no matter what, but if we're here to receive it, then we can begin to let it make an impact on our lives. And I'm glad to be here with all of you. So we're going to, on page 4, we'll sing just a wordless melody, just to kind of get used to our voices and our voices woven with others. And then we'll transition into words. First, English words, the translation from Hebrew from a passage of the book of Isaiah, one of my favorite passages. If you ever go by on Skinker across from the park, the History Museum Library, which used to be United Hebrew, these words are written literally inscribed, engraved into the top of that building. We'll sing that, and then we'll switch to Hebrew for a line from Psalms that just says it's really good when we're together. And I think that's really true. So let's sing. We got Michael and Josh in the AV room. Josh is training. He just became a freshman in high school, and he's in training to help out for the high holidays with our streaming, and he's an awesome guy. So we're really glad you guys are spreading this service near and far, and the people at home get to hear us sing. Aren't they lucky? Yai-lai, yai-lai-lai, yai-lai-lai-lai. Yai-lai-lai, yai-lai-lai, yai-lai-lai-lai. Yai-lai-lai, yai-lai-lai, yai-lai-lai-lai. Yai-lai-lai. Try that again, you're sounding good. Yai-lai-lai, yai-lai-lai, yai-lai-lai-lai. Yai-lai-lai, yai-lai-lai, yai-lai-lai-lai. Yai-lai-lai, yai-lai-lai, yai-lai-lai-lai. Yai-lai-lai, yai-lai-lai-lai. Yai-lai-lai, yai-lai-lai-lai. Yai-lai-lai, yai-lai-lai, yai-lai-lai-lai. Yai-lai-lai, yai-lai-lai, yai-lai-lai-lai. Yai-lai-lai, yai-lai-lai-lai. From the book of Isaiah in the prophets, they shall come to my holy mountain and rejoice in my house of prayer. My house shall be a house of prayer for all peoples. My house shall be a house of prayer for all peoples, and they shall come to my holy mountain. Hey, Octavio. And rejoice in my house of prayer. My house shall be a house of prayer for all peoples. My house shall be a house of prayer for all peoples. Hine matov umanaim shevet achim gam yachad. How good it is and how pleasant when we, a group of brothers and sisters, family, friends, siblings, when we gather together in peace and harmony. Hine matov umanaim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov umanaim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov shevet achim gam yachad. Amen. So we want to bring the Sabbath on, even though it's still light out, still hot out. But eventually, and probably while we're here, sun will set and it'll start getting dark out, and that will truly, by nature's reckoning, bring the Sabbath. So we anticipate that here with the lighting of candles. And if it's okay, can I ask Terry Grossman, will you light the candles for Shabbat? And so glad you're here, our executive director of what, 2 months?
Yeah, 2 months.
How did I know that?
I don't know.
Yeah, good. And so Terry is here and on board, and we're blessed and lucky. So whenever you're ready, you can do it. I'm going to sing a song. You guys can help me in the bottom of page 4. Terry's going to light those candles. This is a preparation, a kavanah song for the lighting of lights, which is a mitzvah on Shabbat. Hear our prayers we sing to you. Be gracious to the ones we love, and bless them with goodness and mercy and peace. Oh, hear our prayers to you. Let us light these lights and see our way to you, and let us say Amen. Let us light these lights and see our way to you, and let us say Amen. And the lights have been kindled, a word I only use on Friday night. Does anyone use the word kindled anymore? Except for not a kindle, but kindled, as a verb. It's kind of a nice word. But why don't we do this? Let us gather that light. That's kind of what we learned to do. Gather that light from the source, but then we send it wherever it needs to go. Symbolically, a lot of symbolism in these days. Preceding and during the days of awe, but we send that light wherever it needs to go. All the people and places that need extra light, extra love, so much division and so much violence, and so much strife, and all kinds of things that we know can be transformed through light, through goodness, through effort. So that's what we symbolize when we spread that light around. And then, though, we believe there's always enough light to go around. And sometimes we feel bereft and empty of light, but I'm telling you it's there. So bring that light right into your heart and soul. As I said, there's enough to go around. Close your eyes and see the light within you, that divine spark, that potential to be your best selves, which helps to transform the world. And take another deep breath, and Nishima Amuka. And this is another mitzvah, to begin the Sabbath with light, even as it gets darker outside. we know that there is light in the world. And our part of our job is to bring that light, which we will do and we have done each and every Shabbat and beyond. So with Leslie, sing the bracha, the blessing that goes along with this mitzvah of kindling light to begin the Sabbath.
Baruch atah Adonai,
Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Amen. You can look around and again see the faces of the people that are gathered here. Pnei Shabbat, right? The faces of Shabbat. And that is us in this time and place. That's what we're receiving. That's what we're welcoming. The Pnei Shabbat. And of course, that means us here in this circle, this Slichot circle, but also those that are watching. Did I miss Audra? Is Audra back there too, Michael? So I'm sorry. Oh, Audra, hello. You're here. So I like this. We're trading places. I'm sorry, Audra. It's good to see you, but I thought maybe you were in the booth and I didn't want to.
Was earlier.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But the people that are watching, they're part of our community as well. We don't see them, but they see us. And they are also starting these moments of Sabbath with us. So, Baruchim Habaim, welcome to everyone. Each and every one of you is a blessing. And really kind of make more goodness in this place, which hopefully will let us bring it all outside when it's time to depart from each other. So let's turn to page 6. I can no longer see from this distance. Don't worry about it. There's a couple different songs we can sing as part of this Kabbalat Shabbat, part of the service, and just Shalom Aleichem was calling to me. It's also a greeting. It's, people say to each other, Shalom Aleichem. And what I love about it is Alechem is plural. So yes, of course, you're saying Shalom to the person that you're speaking to, but you're also extending that greeting, far beyond our time and place. It's a way of greeting, all. And of course, Shalom is not just a greeting. It's offering a blessing for peace, for wholeness. So it is a traditional Friday night melody, Shalom Aleichem, oftentimes sung at the Shabbat dinner table. No, Miriam, you must sing with us for sure. Often sung around the Shabbat dinner table as a Zmirah, but we put it into our Siddur as a way to, again, greet one another, greet the Sabbath, and bring to mind the goal, which of course is peace, shalom. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharei, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boechem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Barchuni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Say etchem l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Mi melech malachei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu. Oh, man. We are on page 10. Stand if you're able, or as you're able, if you're able. I'm going to do the same thing. It's a little tricky. There we go. Okay. So this is our official call to prayer. We have received Shabbat through song and the lighting of candles, and now we call to one another. And I wrote something a while back, I think probably during lockdown when we were doing all of our services virtually. I wrote something about calling, and it seemed like this moment of Baruch Hu, is the right time to sort of not only call each other to prayer, but to put out a call, a really important call to the universe. So I wrote, call forth a moment of earth, trees and rocks and soil and mountains and sand and field. Call forth moments of water, ocean and streams and rain and waterfalls and swimming holes. Call forth moments of air, wind and song and breath and breeze. Call forth moments of fire, the candles, sun, campfires and lightning. Call forth values like compassion and joy and peace and justice and love to yourself and to all beings, north, south, east, west, above and below. Let these elemental images and these godly qualities ground us as we open our hearts to these moments of Sabbath prayer. So the Baruch Hu can be found on page 11. We have a little bit of a introduction. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Yada lai lai lai, 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 yada lai lai lai. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Yada lai lai lai, 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 yada lai lai lai. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed. Le'olam va'ed. Yada lai lai lai, 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 yada lai lai lai. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Please be seated. So if you turn to the next page, 12, I just want to sing a snippet of Ma'ariv Aravim in honor of tracking the month, and especially these months that are so sort of poignant. Elul is a poignant month in the Hebrew calendar, right? It's all about preparing for the days of awe. And so, you could track it from the new moon. And those of you that were around and outside the last couple of nights, the beautiful full moon of Elul, just really bright, and it was clear here in St. Louis. And that means it's the middle of the month, right? I love this teaching that the word moon probably came from, or the word month probably came from the word moon, right? Because in a lunar calendar, it's a month, right? Every moon cycle is a full month, right? From the new moon and then it waxes, and then it's full. And in our tradition, the full moon is the 15th of the month. That's when it's as full as it's going to look in the sky, and then it wanes. And when it's at its thinnest it can look, it's the next new moon. And of course, when it comes to Elul, the next new moon is also the Hebrew New Year, the Jewish New Year. So we are past the midway point. If I know that Rosh Hashanah starts a week from Monday, but if I didn't know anything about Monday or Friday or Thursday, I would know it from being outside. And that's why the Ma'ariv Aravim is such an important prayer in the evening service, because it reminds us about the nighttime sky. And besides its beauty, it is also our calendar. So I thought we would sing just the refrain, the evening refrain, about the blessing, the coming of the evening, which of course, as we sit here, will happen. So if you're ready, sing with me and Leslie. Evening, the evenings, evening the frayed edges of our lives, Ma'ariv, Aravim, Amen. Ma'ariv, Aravim, Amen. Evening, the evenings, evening the frayed edges of our lives, Ma'ariv, Aravim, Amen. Ma'ariv, Aravim, Amen. Say that, I was working with a student whose Bat mitzvah is a number of months away, but we begin pretty early, and their Torah portion is Kiddushim, the holiness code, where love your neighbor comes from, Ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, which we even have in our Siddur. There's a melody we sing to it sometimes. And it's a commandment to love your fellow person. But it's one of those commandments that's easier said than done, right? But that doesn't make it any less of a commandment. An ethical commandment, which in liberal Judaism are way above the ritual commandments in terms of our hierarchy of mitzvahs, the ethics. And I guess you could think of the oneness that we're supposed to be called to during the Shema as another one of those easier said than done, right? To really, really, really feel our oneness with all creation, with all humanity. So no one's saying it's easy, but it's a sacred and ancient goal. So here's one way maybe we can get there, is by just singing it over and over. This isn't in the prayer book, so you'll figure it out. And also the chorus is really easy, just one word, right? Yeah. That's the amen corner. One love for each other, sisters and brothers. We're one, but we're not the same. Get to carry each other, one. Sing it with me. One, One, yes, singing one. 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 One love. One blood. One heart. One soul. One drum. One rhythm. One tribe. And all of us singing. One. There you go. One. 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 Oh yeah. One. 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 Love is the temple. Love the higher law. Love is the temple. Love the highest law. Love is the temple. Love the higher law. Love is the temple. Love the highest law. One. 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 One more time. One. 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 Which leads us to page 15 in that last word of the Shema, Echad. Not too long ago, that was it appeared in the Torah portion. We're kind of moving our way through Deuteronomy as we get closer to the end of this year, this Hebrew year. And right at the beginning of the book of Deuteronomy, that's where the Shema comes from in the Torah, but we, in the wisdom of the tradition, we lifted it. Somebody just knew that this was something special. And of course, you could make an argument that everything in the Torah, especially interpreted correctly, is special. But there's some parts that just feel elevated and transcendent. And somebody figured out that the Shema shouldn't be the pasuk, the verse of the Shema, shouldn't be reserved for just when it comes around in the Torah cycle. That we ought to lift it out of the Torah and insert it into our prayers. And not only our prayers, but for many of us, Shema is something we say at all different times in our lives. There's a bedtime Shema. There's people who say Shema when they wake up. People say Shema when they're frightened and when they need extra strength or extra hope, an extra reminder that they're not alone. All of those things are part of this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 words, So it's meaningful. It's filled with meaning. And, the more you say it, the more you intone it, the more meaningful I think it becomes. And it ends with that word for one, echad. So feel your oneness, feel your connectedness to each other, to those that aren't here, maybe those you'll never meet, but we are connected as well. People halfway across the world, we're connected to them. We're one with them. To nature, the natural world, our oneness with nature, part of nature, and ultimately our oneness with the divine. Right? That's what all mystical strains of religions teach about that unity, that there isn't really separation between God or the divine or the spirit with a capital S and the creation. And we might feel like it's separate, for most of our walking days. But underneath that separateness is a connection. And maybe one of the ways we feel it is when we sing these words, that everything melts away except for that divine oneness. So I invite everybody to just take a moment, maybe even look at that word echad, that last word. We've set apart that verse in the middle of the page. And when you're ready, let's sing together, Shema Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Amen. Next page, the words that follow that verse in the Torah scroll in Deuteronomy, more expressions of love. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam B'shivtecha b'veitecha, uvlektecha v'aderek, uvshokbecha uvkumecha, ukshartam leot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot beineinecha, uchtavtam al mizuzot beitecha, uvisharecha. Leman tizkeru v'yasitem et kol mitzvotai, v'hitem kedoshim lelohechem, ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, lihiot lachem le'Elohim, ani Adonai Elohechem. Amen. Page 18. This is one of two blessings for the evening service, for the Kabbalat Shabbat service, that's about redemption. And I've got such an old metaphor for redemption. Like it's like one of those like cultural references that, I don't know, most people, I'm thinking about green stamps. Oh, good, okay, got third of the room, right? Green stamps. There. Anyway, these, I don't even know how to explain it, but you would redeem these stamps if you got enough of them for like, you know, fabulous items like a transistor radio or what else? I don't know. Anyway. Yes, there were books. They write. Yes. 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 Did you say, what did you say? Oh, sets of china. Right, yes. So that's the notion of redemption, right? You something for another thing, right? You know, and in prayer, the theme of redemption is, you know, in exchange for our faith and our hope and our actions, that we can transform the world. From the way it is, that's the prize. Much better than China. Not the country, you know, the place. From the way things are to the way they ought to be. And, you know, in a lot of ways, you know, in our own lives, and there are blessings. Like I always, you know, I want to make sure people don't lose sight of that, right? But there's certainly a lot of brokenness. And so this is that redemption part, is that hope, that promise of repair. Of where there's brokenness, how can we bring goodness and light and justice and compassion? So we, into the redemption slot, we bring that story that we tell at Passover, that in this case, the end of the story, the freedom part, right? We know that there was a slavery and oppression part, but we also know that there was liberation at the end of that. And that's that promise, that hope of redemption. And so for all those that are feeling vulnerable and left out and marginalized and isolated, we don't let anyone slip through the cracks. We have to have each other's backs. And that's how we get closer to that redemption that is promised in a story, in our prayers, in our hearts and souls. So let's sing for redemption, for freedom, for something better to emerge. Yai lai 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 ya lai la lai Yai lai lai lai, ya lai la lai, yai lai lai lai, ya lai la lai, ya la lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai lai, ya la lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai, yai lai lai lai, ya la lai, yai lai lai lai. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha neder ba'kodesh, nora tehilot, hosei felech, hosei felech. Come on, y'all. Yai lai lai, yai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai, yai lai lai lai, yayim loch le olam va'ed, yayim loch le olam va'ed, yayim loch leolam va'ed, leolam va'ed. Yai lai lai, yai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai, yai lai lai lai. Amen. Leslie had to go, didn't she? Oh, bye, Leslie. Now I know how Simon felt when Garfunkel up and left. The sweet harmony but that's okay. We'll persevere. You guys, up your ante. Got to compensate for Leslie. All right, page 20, another redemption prayer. This one is only sung in the evening service. And all I wanted to say before we sing together this prayer for redemption and hope, and faith and peace, is that term that we use often during Elul and during the days of awe, and especially during Slichot, when we gather tomorrow night, with hearts ready to be purified, ready to forgive and be forgiven. The term is cheshbon hanefesh, and it means an accounting of the soul. And this is the work to check ourselves, to not forget what we're doing well, but to also not ignore where we can improve, how we can be better souls, better neighbors, better family members, better citizens. And it's not easy to be that honest. This time of year demands an honesty. And it can be a brutal kind of honesty, you know? But if it is that, it means we're doing our work well. And I guess the part that I want to say right now with Hashkivenu, this shelter of peace song and prayer, is that just please know as we go about this spiritual work, trying to be better people, that you're not alone. That's why the gatherings during the days of awe are so holy and so sacred. Because we're all going through whatever it is we're going through. We're all doing the best we can to really do that cheshbon hanefesh. But so is the person next to us, and in front of us, and behind us. And people all over the world doing this work. So I hope that there's some comfort in that. And at some point near the end of Yom Kippur, it seems like a long time away, I promise you'll come out the other side. I promise you. A little lighter and a little bit more hopeful and a little bit more able to connect to others and to feel positive about yourself. So let's go through it together, my friends. Love each and every one of you And there's no community on earth I'd rather go through these days of awe with than you. Take this soul, living in my skin and bones. Take this soul and let it sing. Yahweh, Yahweh, always pain before a child is born. Yahweh, Yahweh, it's always dark before the dawn. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu Lishalom, V'hamidenu Shomreinu Lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu Lishalom, V'hamidenu Shomreinu Lechaim. Allow us to lie and rise and sleep, it says, remembering that the night in our calendar becomes before the day. So to allow us to lie and then rise in peace. Go to sleep in peace so we can wake up to life once again. Allow us to lie and rise in peace. Shalom. Allow us to lie and rise in peace. Shalom. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu Lishalom, V'hamidenu Shomreinu Lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu Lishalom, V'hamidenu Shomreinu Lechaim. All right, now another time, if you choose, take a deep breath. You need all the strength and courage, faith and hope you can muster to sing this next part, this Bob Marley part. Doesn't say everything's going to be perfect. We know better than that. But it does say everything's going to be all right. It has to be. Has to be. It can be better too. But we can make it all right. It's going to be all right. Believe that and feel it. Despite it all, everything's gonna be all right. 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 And everything's gonna be all right. Everything's gotta be all right. Everything's gonna be all right. Everything's gonna be all right. And Ufros aleinu Sukkot, Sukkot shlomecha. Ufros aleinu Sukkot shlomecha, and cover over us tonight with a Sukkot shalom, a shelter of peace for you, for those you love. A Sukkot shalom, a shelter of peace over all creation, over everyone and everything that dwells on earth. We cannot go skippy in our prayers. We got room to pray for peace in the whole world, for there to be a true shelter of peace over all creation. Starting right here, right now. Amen. And shalom. Salam. Shanti. Peace. Amen. I want to say, Miriam had to go home. Yeah. So I just want you to know that, so when Amy and I lived in New York City a long time ago, our oldest, Zoe, we would go to shul for Friday night, and uptown Manhattan. And the same thing with the Bjorn and the walking around, and eventually one of us would have to go. But Zoe, they felt it, you know. They're still singing Shabbat songs, you know, at 27. So it's in there. So look at that, yeah. So that's right. And she's like, it's time for an exodus. Let's go. Let's get out of here. Well, she's adorable. So, all right, everybody, let's stand if you're able. God, I'm making these noises when I stand up. All right, so we are on page 23. And what we do on Friday night, it's kind of our custom. The prayers that are here in this tefillah section, we start out together. We sing the psalm or the verse from the Psalms. That's right there in the middle of the page in the Hebrew. Adonai sifatai tiftach, ufi yagi tehilatecha. And then we do silent prayer. And you can look at the prayers on the page. You can delve into your own prayers, your deepest hopes and desires for yourself and the world. Just some time for meditation, reflection, prayer. And when you're done, when you're through for the moment, just have a seat. It's kind of nice. We'll kind of see little by little people sit down, and everyone has their own pace and their own timing. But when we're all seated, then we'll finish off this section of prayer with a prayer for peace, of course. Another prayer for peace and for shalom and for tikkun olam, for a more peaceful world. But we begin with this psalm. I call it the psalm of opening. It's got that awesome word, tiftach. Comes from the Hebrew patach. Every Hebrew word has a shoresh. I know we got some Hebrew teachers here looking at you, Lisa. We got, and the shoresh is the root. Usually a 3-letter, sometimes a 4-letter root. But if you know the root of a Hebrew letter, you kind of know the general theme of all the words that use that root. And patach is the root for open, for openness. And so this is a time for opening your hearts and your souls and your minds. Religion does not have to mean a closed mind. It does in some quarters, but that's not how it's supposed to be. Open minds and open doors so that whoever needs to be with us can be with us. And thank God for our buddy James, who keeps us safe and our doors open all at the same time, what else? Open doors, open arms, right? To kind of embrace each other and include each other. No one should feel left out. And that's another reason it's great to be in a circle like this, because in a circle, no one's should be left out. So Adonai sfatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Then some silent prayer, and then we'll kind of wind down towards the conclusion of the service. Adonai. Yai lai 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 sifatai tiftach. Yai lai 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 ufi yagid tehilatecha. Yai lai 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 Adonai. Yai lai 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 sifatai tiftach. Yai lai 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 ufi yagid tehilatecha. Yai lai 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 Adonai. Yai lai 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 sifatai tiftach. Yai lai 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 ufi yagid tehilatecha. I lie, 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 Adonai. Yai lie, 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 sifatai tiftach. Yai lie, 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 ufi yagid tehilatecha. There's a lot of prayer time to come for those of you that will be involved, kind of participate in the high holidays. So we're not skimping on the prayer. This is the time of year where we're here a lot, So you'll get all your prayers in. Those gates are open, really open. So I was talking about roots and for words, and the one for peace is Shin Lamed Mem. That root doesn't mean peace. It means wholeness, WHOLENESS. And peace is part of wholeness, but it's not limited to that. And I think that's why I'm drawn to this prayer on page 31. There's a lot of options for a prayer for peace. I just love this Olam Chesed Yibaneh because it's larger than peace, as important as peace is, but it encompasses the wholeness of what we need to rebuild the world, right? Not just peace, but also justice and compassion and joy and love and righteousness. All those good things we know will help make the world more meaningful and enjoyable and holy. So this is a contemporary prayer. It's written by a rabbi named Menachem Creditor. He's now in Berkeley, California. And I've gotten to study and learn with Rabbi Creditor. And he knows that this song is sung in synagogues all over, and also at protests and rallies and lots of interfaith settings. I've seen Jewish people teach this prayer to the general sort of a group that's gathered for a sacred purpose that has Jews and all kinds of and non-Jews and people from all different walks of life. And it kind of feels like one of our contributions. And I love it that, it's a rabbi who, I know him and he's doing good work in California. But he's written this amazing piece of liturgy. So we'll think about peace and think about wholeness, think about shalom. We're thinking, of course, about, every place that could use these blessings, could use repair, could use shalom. And I'm certainly thinking of Gaza and then Israel and the hostages and Palestinians, the families of the hostages, and all the places in the world that are just driven apart or torn apart. And we have to be able to figure out a way to hold all of that and to not only pray for peace, but to be agents of peace in small ways, and those of us that can and are positioned to do so in large ways as well. It's all important. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, to transform the world, bring more shalom, wholeness. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, Yadadai, Yadadai, Yadadai. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, Yadadai, Yadadai, Yadadai. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, Yadadai, Yadadai, Yadadai. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, Yadai, Yadai, Yadadai. I will build this world from love. Yadadai, Yadai, Yadadai. And you must build this world from love. Yadadai, Yadai, Yadadai. And if we build this world from love, Yadai, Yadai, Yadadai, then God will build this world from love. yadai, yadai, yadadai, yadadai, olam chesed yibane. Yadadai, yadai, yadadai, yadadai, olam chesed yibane. Yadadai, yadai, yadadai, yadadai, olam chesed yibane. Yadai, yadai, yadadai, yadadai. Olam chesed yibane. Yadai, yadai, yadadai. Olam chesed yibane. Yadadai, dai, dai, yadadai, dai. Amen. Just want to turn our attention for a moment to healing, and just offer up a healing prayer to the people in your lives that could use a healing touch, that could use the ruach, the spirit, the koach, the strength of our gathering to sort of enter into their spirit. If there's people here that feel the need for our prayers, you have them. Sometimes we are the need to be healed, and sometimes we're the healers. And of course, there are medical professionals, thank God, who do that work. But, we all can be healers in a spiritual sense. So bring to mind, just think of names, people watching on the stream, type in the names in the chat. Think about the people. We'll be praying a lot for healing during the High Holy Days. And I'm just going to chant that, what they call the perfect prayer of Moses, when Moses had to pray for Miriam, his sister, for healing. And just, he couldn't he wasn't a good word person anyway, or that's how he's presented early on. Later, he's got more words than, you can count, but in either way, he just can think of just a few, and they're just simple and they're direct. Let there be healing. El na rafana la. So let's think about those people. We're going to think about you if you need our prayers, and we'll chant this for a healing moment. El na rafana la, el na rafana la, el na rafana la, refuah shlema. El na rafana la, el na rafana la, el na rafana la, refuah shlema. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Rofei HaCholim. May we learn and continue to learn ways that we can be angels of healing and to care about anyone that's suffering and in need of healing of mind and body and spirit. Amen. So I want to give a few announcements. There's obviously, it's a busy time before we make sure we say Kaddish for our loved ones. El has handily put the announcements on this form, so I'm going to read them. There is a Shabbat service tomorrow morning. Rabbi Daniel, Rabbi Karen will be here, 10 o'clock, including, of course, the reading of the Torah from Ki Tavo as we continue through the book of Deuteronomy. There will be a grief support group with the lovely and wonderful and talented Jamie Sentnor, who's been doing this for a long time. You got to drop her an email, but on Zoom only this Saturday or tomorrow at 12:30 for the grief support group. I guess this is an announcement, just FYI. Most of you know we have this awesome mitzvah farm, a lot of volunteers here around the circle. We call it that because all the food that's grown in our garden goes to feed people who are food insecure in our neighborhood through our partners at Trinity Episcopal Church. And I guess the announcement is that Oh, can people come with the first? Yeah. Oh, hi. Yeah, Al, you were there. Now you're there. Everyone's switching up on me. I see. So the first graders, the cute little first graders, are going to be volunteering at the garden tomorrow at 11, and the community is invited to volunteer with them. That's what the deal is? Okay, that's kind of cool. So if you're up for being outside, there's going to be a lot of inside during the holidays, although there's a lot of outside too. You know, that's a really cool rhythm of the high holidays. You know, we're inside for Rosh Hashanah services, but then what do? We go outside for Tashlich. And then we're really inside for Yom Kippur, even interior, inside our own selves. But then we burst out. What's the first, the first thing you're supposed to do after Yom Kippur is over? Eat. but then start building your sukkah, right? And it's a metaphor, I think, for get outside. You know, you've been doing all this interior stuff. Get outside, and they're both important. But tomorrow, if you want to be outside and with the first graders and help out with our garden, that's happening at 11. And then Slichot, been talking about it. Here we are in the Slichot configuration. Part of Slichot is candlelight. We don't often do candlelight services, but of course, it's beautiful and inspiring. Part of what Slichot is supposed to do is to kind of really get us in the frame of mind and soul for the high holidays. And so it's really our first hearing of the high holiday music, our band and our choir, for the year. So if you've never heard CRC's high holiday music, it's a good time to come and kind of get used to it. If you love our high holiday music, it's a good time to come and kind of get ready for hearing it a lot. But that is going to be, there's a reception at 8, and then the service starts at 9. So it's a late night service, and there'll be Havdalah. Then we'll come in here, and we have a ritual and some songs. It's not a very long service, but I think very lovely and meaningful. So that's tomorrow night. High holiday registration is open only for members. We had a period of time because that's part of our ethic, part of our values, to be open to everyone, but we also have members of the synagogue. So non-member registration is now closed. We are very full for the high holidays. There are waiting lists. I'm hoping that everyone here that wants to be part of the high holidays has already registered, but registration is still open, especially for waiting lists and things like that. So that's happening. Lots of things coming up in terms of adult education and opportunities for, social justice, social action. And you can check the e-announcements and the website to kind of get a handle on all different ways that you can get involved. This is a great time to get involved or re-involved this time of year. And look forward to seeing everyone tomorrow night and beyond. And we always make sure before we leave each other's company in this sanctuary, we have time for remembrance. So if you are here and are saying Kaddish for a loved one, whether this is you're in your year of mourning, or whether this is the yahrzeit, the anniversary of the death of a loved one, I'll ask you to stand. We can recognize you as a mourner and hear the names of the people that you're remembering. And Zev.
For my father, which is on the English calendar, the yahrzeit years ago.
Wow. And I can remember that year that you said Kaddish for him, 14 years ago. And this is one of the ways that they can still be with us. So I hope you feel his presence. May his memory be a blessing, Zev, and for your whole family, Lori. Please. We're thinking about for your father, your grandfather, of blessed memory, Zikra no livracha. Thank you for saying his name and being here to remember and honor him. Please. For your mom. Wow, it's so hard. And holiday time, is especially. So we're thinking about you and thinking about her, and may her memory be a blessing. Sarah. Thank you for saying Kaddish for them. And Alan and Yael. Oh my gosh, condolences, so sorry. A lot of loss and a lot of good people. So we're thinking about you guys and glad we're here on Friday nights. Glad you're here with your dad on Friday nights to really kind of honor them. So Michael and Josh, are their names from the stream?
Yes, we're remembering Charlie, Kimmy, and baby Benicio, Shula Sasson, Malcolm Margolin, Sue Bruns, and Kathleen Meehan, and I'm remembering my grandmother, Susan Koppelman.
Thank you. And now everyone that's able, please stand with our mourners, because we want to show them comfort and support as they say Kaddish for their loved ones, but also because we're remembering people as a community, as a congregation. I'm going to read some more names. In the Kaddish, it's Shmei Rabbah is one of the expressions in the Kaddish, means the great name. And it's a euphemism for God, but I think of it as all the names of all the people who we're remembering and whose shoulders we stand upon. So this weekend is the yahrzeit of Beatrice Arkey and Erwin Koppler and Gerald Alton and Ramona Pepper and Reuben Krumholtz. It's Sandy Jaffe and Stuart Zimmerman and Susan Harris and Albert Baum and Florence Barnes and Francis Rosen and Leo Florman and Marge Levitt, Matthew Keller, William Scott Miller, Evelyn Fink, Faye Cohn, and Jerome Glick. Coming up is the yahrzeit of Shirley Nathanson and Joanne Glazer Steinbaum. I have to say, I always remember this is the mother of Liz, but I'm thinking Michael of blessed memory. And at his mom's funeral all these years ago, he talked about remembering what it felt like when she would, kind of scratch his back. And I just always think of that what a beautiful, tender tribute that was. Thank you, Terry. Sam Bernstein. So those yahrzeits are coming up. And then our recent losses include Gail Emmert and Ron Fagerstrom. Ron Fagerstrom was here every Friday night. And when we would sing Lachado D, he would stand right in back where Catherine is, and he would dance. And he was like the only one dancing. And it was very kind of inspiring. So Ron passed away. Bradley Rowe and Alan Palmer. My stepfather, Steve Randall, and Joseph Claude Evans. Pauline Graver, Lisa's mom. Marilyn Schlitter. Phyllis Kidder. Marion Stuvland, who Sarah mentioned. Stan Edelstein. Christine Gerson. Mona Reek. Alan Turkin and Roger Brown, and Matt Braun and Bernard Bud Levin and Trevor Horwitz. Remembering Ava Cooper and Reverend Melissa Bennett and Carol Portman and Ellen Hartz and Sharon Hollander, another Friday night regular, and Ellen Sherman and Lizzie Wolf, Phyllis Goodfriend and Benson Portnoy, Bunny Shopper, and Vivian Eveloff, and Emmanuel Binder, who's James's brother of blessed memory. Sam Fox, kind of a giant in our community, and Molly Ann Portman, and Gerald Siegel, and Sammy Schaas, who taught kindergarten here for decades to our religious school kids, and at Temple Israel as well. Susan Koppelman, Michael's grandmother, Jill Evans Petzel, and those are the names, and I know there are others that we think about when we say Kaddish. We do have a Yizkor service near the end of Yom Kippur where we'll say every name that anyone wants us to say. We have our memory board, that star board where it has the names of all the members of our congregation who have passed away. When we say their name, each of their names is a whole world. Their experience and their defeats and their victories and their love and their passion. A name means so much. So we think about all of them on pages 41 and 42 as we say Kaddish. I'm sorry, Lisa. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we have to be able to honor, and that brings to mind, anyone, all those deaths that could be reduced if we figure out a way to make a better world, a less violent world. Thank you. We say together for all of them, Yikadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah be'alma divra kirutei v'yamlich malchutei Chon uv'yom echon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael b'agala uv'izman kari ve'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mivarach le'olam omei omaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yithalei v'yithalal shmei dekudesha b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma ve'imru amen. Yehei shlam Rabba min Shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru amen. Zikr nam livracha, may all of their memories, every single person you named, be an eternal blessing to you, and now because we heard their names, to all of us, and let us say, Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, amen. Yahaseh shalom, Yahaseh shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yahaseh shalom, Yahaseh shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Amen. So on Friday night, what we do is we give our blessing, and it's really easy in this shape to put our arms around each other. And then I'm going to sing us out into the Oneg room. What's that? Yeah.
I always go up like I'm a tall person.
Oh, yeah, but you are tall in spirit, Terry. Look, the candles you lit are still going. Yeah. So I'm going to sing us outside in the Oneg room. If you can stick around, we say the blessings in the Oneg room. And there's still some food from the pre-Oneg, so you can stay and kind of and do a post-Oneg, extend Shabbat if you can, and be with each other and meet someone new and connect. But we want to make sure we leave the community, everyone that's here, and especially in this sacred space, with a blessing for peace that's right from the Torah. We need it really badly. We all do. And may it kind of help us go into the new year hopeful that there'll be more peace in the new Jewish year and for the whole world. So let's say to one another, Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmarecha. May God bless you and keep you now and always. Ya'ir Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. And the light, I told you, the sun would go down, but there's still light, the candles, the light inside everyone's heart, the divine light that teaches us how to walk in the world with goodness. May all that light help us feel more safe and warm and loved. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. And may we be blessed with the greatest gift of all, that gift of shalom, of wholeness, of peace in our hearts and our homes. There should be peace where our children go to school. There should be peace where we work. There should be shalom in our neighborhoods, in our communities, shalom in the cities and small towns and rural areas of our country, and God willing soon, there should be more peace, more shalom throughout the whole world, all creation. Rosh Hashanah is known as the birthday of the world. What a present that would be. More peace And let's say amen. And Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Good Shabbos.
Right, right.